All right, we're gonna go and see what is going on this truck here today. It's a unique one. We haven't built one in a while, but we used to build a lot of them. So let's go and look at what they're gonna throw on here. And remember this mat, because we'll cover this too.
Those viewers, should I drop the wires in this hole, this hole, this hole, or should I move some stuff out of here?
we're not gonna do that, Jaden. These guys are knuckleheads, to put it nicely. Okay, let's go look at this. Excuse me, Nate. All right, we used to do these, and they were called our Hunter's Special back in the 90s, late 90s, early 2000s. We made a lot of them. And this guy's buddy still has one. I think it's a 2004. And so he's like, you know what, I need one, because he didn't want to do a full-on camper, but he wanted to have a spot where he could sleep. It's insulated, get out of the weather, and we'll go in there and look at what it looks like as soon as it's sitting up there on the truck. Wow, that's just a phone. But yeah, you can see, pretty cool. Just a little topper. It's got a slide-in floor unit. He's got temporary jacks on it. That's our yard jacks, that's why they're ugly. But yeah, we'll go over this as soon as it's sitting on the truck. But I wanted to show it to you before it's on the truck so you could see what all of this here looks like. So as soon as they're done, we'll go over the whole thing. Should probably show you, because this is a big question, should probably show this to you as well before we go up on there, of what underneath this thing looks like. So you can see this is what it looks like underneath here. We have these plywood strips, and I'll cover this in the video once it's sitting on the truck as well. But we have these plywood strips here underneath, and those grip into that mat that I just showed you inside the truck bed. The reason why we do it this way, we learned years ago that when you go and you try to waterproof entirely this pan here and put metal under there or fiberglass or whatever, all it is a bowl. It holds water and it destroys your floor. So the best thing you can do is allow airflow underneath the unit and have it water resistant, to where any wood is painted, any exposed wood is painted, but it's also left to where it can just air out if it does get water. But this airflow here, this treated lumber, this is treated plywood, it ends up just gripping better into that mat, so that you don't have all of this surface area just slides around. Those bite into that rubber mat or the bed lined, the sprayed bed. So it's a much better way to do it. And then if there is any water sitting in there, it's on that treated plywood rather than directly on the unit itself. So that's a very, very good way to do it. So that's how we do it on all of our units that actually sit in the truck bed and are classified as a slide-in camper. Units like that are not, they don't count. But yeah, and then back here where all the water comes down this back wall and underneath, we have what we call a road spray pan. Okay, all that is to protect against road spray or any kind of salt buildup. But in this case, it's not really that big of a deal, because he's going to be able to close his tailgate. So we're going to cover all of this as soon as it's sitting on the truck. All right, it's on there. Look at that. Not bad. So you guys saw how it looked off of the truck and everything. He wanted to keep his tailgate. So we're going to go ahead and go over it, and we're going to do dimensions and everything. And just kind of look inside there and see what all he had us do and why. So many of you guys, for those of you who do not know, many of you guys already know, we're up here in Alaska manufacturing these things. This is year number 55. And like I was saying at the beginning of the video here, we used to build a lot of these. They were the Hunter Special, and then they just kind of became less common over the past, I'd say, 8 years. But then all of a sudden here, a lot more folks have been wanting them, and this guy's buddy, he has one, and it's a 2004, and he's still using it. So let's go ahead and go over dimensions and see what this little thing is, and we'll go over weight and all of that in this video too. So from right here, this is just like a truck topper, like our classic, well, now our Frontier truck topper, but it's a sliding camper. So let's go ahead and get a dimension. From that surface all the way back is 74 7.5 inches. Okay, and then we're gonna get a dimension up here of the width. So from this point over, hopefully that sucker's gonna stay, to right there is 79, just under. The actual framing is 78 inches on the exterior. And then the sidewall height here, we're gonna clip right there on that rail. We're gonna butt underneath it, and I'll explain why here in a second. Down here is 37 inches. So what this actually is classified as is 36 inches inside. Now Daniel here, he's not a small guy, he's a pretty big guy, and he wanted to be able to sleep in here, lay down, but sleep this way instead of this way. He wanted to keep this tailgate. He loves his step right here. Let's go ahead and open this. Hello, wake up. There it is. He wanted to keep his step here and keep his tailgate and tow his trailer. And he does a lot of skiing. He's got a ski right over there. He does a lot of skiing and snowboarding and stuff like that in the winter, and so he wants the insulation value, and that's why he didn't want to go with just a regular truck topper. He actually wanted to have something that's, he's going to be able to set his heater up in here just like his buddies. He's going to put his heater in here, so we made all of this solid for him. He's going to put his little diesel heater right here on the inside and then duct it around inside here, and he's going to do his own build out and everything. But that's why the slide in instead of the truck topper. And because of his height, he can't sleep in here like this and still be able to close the tailgate, because you can see we've got to build it shorter. And so he is going to get up in there and he's going to sleep that way. And we'll jump up in there and put the tape on it and see how wide it is. But before we go in there, let's keep looking at the outside. So right here, you can see this is how it ties down. Just like that. Ties down inside the bed to the existing tie down points on the truck. And the reason you can do that is because it's so light. Now we tie it down just like on our fish hook, and we do make those brackets right there and bolt them in. Okay, we use the springs, that way you can have some absorption and all of that energy is not getting transferred right into the structure here whenever you hit a frost heave. Those are just simple turnbuckles, nothing more than that. Now, to answer those of you guys out there who are, I know you're already asking, why not use the Torque Lift Apex product that goes in here and it bolts through the bed and it goes down to the chassis? Well, the answer is you can. It's just, is it necessary? In some cases, no. Other cases, yes. But yeah, it is recommended to go ahead and go with the Torque Lift, that Apex product. But you don't necessarily need to. So before we keep going, that is a 2021 F-150. Just for a point of reference, and this is a 6.5 foot bed. It's their 6.75. So weight, the weight of this thing is right around 450 pounds, maybe 500. You can have 4 guys pick that thing up. It's going to be a heavy for them, but they can do it. So let's jump up in there. Let's measure the size of this door first. The door opening itself, right here, is, trying to do this left-handed, you're right at 29.5. We targeted 32. And then the height, put the tape right there on the floor, come all the way up, and you can see it's almost 52. It's 51 3/4, just to give you an idea. So that's the door opening size. And yes, we do build our doors here. Now, you got a 42-inch window right there, that's 15 by 42. Then you have just your regular front window right there. I believe it's 13 inches high by 50, and then another 15 by 42. He was going back and forth. He wanted to do a vent, but then he ultimately decided not to, because he figured this would be enough airflow, and you do in little boxes like this need some airflow. Now this right here is the bed. He just wanted to be able to have something simple, some sheets of plywood right here. We didn't want to get more complicated than that. We could build all kinds of beds, guys, but all this is, it's just plywood. We call this a strong back on it. And just put a little board on there to keep it from bowing. Paint it to try and stop it from drying out on one side or the other, but it doesn't always work, stopping the plywood from drying out from the humidity from dry air or the humidity fluctuations. So it's good to seal your plywood maybe with something like this or polyurethane it or something like that to keep it from bowing. But all we did, so that's all this method is. Typically we do bunks, but for what he wanted to accomplish here, we simply did the ply. So what it is though is half of this thing, he wants to be able to be in here and have 2 people sleep in here if necessary. And so we've got a little tiny 18-inch leaf, and then we have a 30-inch. And the reason why there's a 30 and an 18 instead of making them each the same size is so that he can take this one out and put it down under if it's just him. And then he's got this mat or this bed he can sleep on. So these things just come out, move just like that. You could also put it down under here, and then this can just slide on these rails. It's so stupid simple. That's how it should be. Keep things simple. And then this rail runs the full length. Okay? We've done a lot of little beds like this. It works out. They're just a simple way to do it. So let's keep going over dimensions. I'm going to measure what the inside is here. We're going to come over here, put the tape against that wall, and then go all the way over. You're at 76.5 in here. So this is 6 foot 4.5 inches. Okay? Then on the inside, we're going to put this on this side right there and run that all the way over. And you can see you're 6 foot 10 inches. I mean 5 foot 10 inches. So a little bit shorter. And that's why he wanted to go wider with the build. And there's another reason why you should go wider, and we'll go right back outside here in a second and cover that. You can put this window wherever you want. You can make it smaller if you need to, down to a 12 by 18, or you can do a 15 by 30. But this is where he wanted those windows. It helps also with your blind spot. You can look out if you want to see, and you can still see out the side. Not as good, but you can see. Now, let's go ahead and measure this. From there on up to the side, that's why it's called a 36. Because this inside bench is 36 inches high. So I can actually get in here, and I can turn around just like so. That's comfortable. I can sit there, and so can he. He's a lot bigger than me. I'm not that big of a guy, but he's going to be able to sit in here comfortably. I've got plenty of space above my head right now to sit here. But there you go, guys. This right here is the switch for the light. Right there. That runs off that switch, and that is so that you can reach it from standing out there on the ground. So you can see here, these are just the bolts to go through for the tie downs. Yes, you could Fisher plate this if you want to have some increased strength. And then right here, this is how you access the tie downs outside. And yes, this will come completely out. You don't even need it in there. Right there, just like that. Comes right out, and then you can get into all your stuff. Easy. And with that being back on, you can see how that works. This works really well. We've done several different versions of those little access doors. That works really well. Now, let's look at the width of the floor in here. I'm going to put the tape on that surface, and then come over here. You can see we're just shy of 45 inches on the inside. And I suppose you could go a little wider than that, but I don't know that you need to. Now guys, this structure is fully insulated, okay? You got an insulated ceiling, and you've got, or an insulated roof, and all of this is insulated. So it's a very common question for folks to ask, what happens to it when it gets insulated? Well, the cavities in the walls are what gets insulated, okay? This is one of the most tried and true ways of our building and little structures that we've ever built here at Cash Camper. Now let's go and look at the windows right here. That's how the windows work. Yes, this screen opens if you need it to. We don't have to open it all the way up. There's the window. Click it closed, and then latch right there. Typically, folks figure out their own window coverings. We could do that as well, because we do offer those. Yeah, let's go outside really quick, and I'll show you. Okay, so right here, these jacks. Taking these things on and off the truck is a little bit harder than you might think. I encourage everybody who does a build like this to have us put these jack brackets on and make the thing at least this wide. you can see here, he's well within his mirror line. No big deal at all. It is out there wider, so but you can still see there's no obstruction to your mirrors. But this right here, I always encourage going at least 78 wide with any kind of build like this, so that when you put your jacks on, you can actually get out, because with this being this wide, he's got maybe an inch on each side right now before he actually touches with the edge of the jack right here. Okay, so there's a couple of solutions there. You could put a wider bracket on here, or a swing away bracket, or whatever, but it's really nice to just be able to have no jacks on there at all and not have extra brackets and stuff that you have to contend with. So go the right width. Now right here, we put these kinds of metal, we make these metal flashings ourselves, and we put it there so that these windows don't get any kind of water penetration when that water comes up over the cab like that. Okay guys, there you go. That thing is that is our old Hunter special that we're starting to make more of now, and I think they're cool. This thing sits on there nice and tight to the truck. It's super light. The truck doesn't even know it's on there. It might actually know it's on there. It might drive a little better in the snow and the ice. You can see all of this is just sheer ice. But there you go. And you guys all saw the mat up underneath there. That's how we do it. Don't know if you can see it. Yep, there's a mat under there, and it's getting bit into by that treated plywood. But there you go guys, simple stuff. And to also answer the questions about wiring, yes, this ceiling light in here runs on the battery of the truck, and then we have this little clip right here that we just plug and unplug. Very simple stuff, but boom, there you go. The old Hunter's special. Okay guys, we'll catch you on the next one. I'm gonna get him on his way and stop him from waiting. He's got to get out there and get using those skis.